I'm just starting now. I'm transcribing a diary from 1943. So if you guys want to help out, I'm trying to display the pages as I go. So this is the first page that I will be reading. So, January 1st, 1943. I'll try to also read comments as I go. But I see cloudy and mild. I worked most of the day making a step to the cabin. So I haven't read these diaries yet. This is the first time I'm cracking them open. I did, right before this live, take some pictures of the pages so that I could put them bigger for you guys, and I did notice that it mentions a cabin a lot. So I think the person who had this diary was definitely worked on a farm, and I think they're building a cabin. I'm trying to move around my picture so I can see Lloyd. And the family. Drove out this afternoon. This is only the first page, so I haven't really gotten to know this person's handwriting yet. I also don't know who the diary belongs to. Hopefully, as I start transcribing, we'll figure it out. All right. Okay, so this, I wish there was a better way for me to show you. I know that this name says Edna. I'm not sure what that says, so if anyone has an idea, I think I'm just going to put a question mark. That definitely says Edna. I got the diary on eBay. So I actually, one of the things that I do on my page, the biggest thing I do, is I read a diary from 1917 that I got in an estate sale, and that's a different person who owned that diary, but I've really dove deep into that. So I picked up a few on eBay. This is the one that we're reading right now, and I'm not sure who it belongs to. There's no immediate name in the front. I can show you the front of the diary. There's no name, but hopefully as we read, we can sort of figure out who the person was. Oh, sister. Okay, maybe. Yeah, I see STR. I'll put that in there for now. When I went through and transcribed my diary from 1917, I had a sort of system where I would highlight something that I wasn't sure about. On live, it's going to be a little bit tough to stick to that kind of stuff, but that's a way that I would, go back and later figure it out. So I like that idea, though, because he does mention Edna a lot. I say he, I think it's a guy, but he mentions Edna a lot, so that makes sense. All right, so we'll say Sister Edna and I drove to, this is another one. Do you think it says, okay, so someone else thinks that. I'm going to write Cedar Rapids because it looks like a capital C and then a capital R. That would make sense. So drove to Cedar Rapids this evening. To a, funeral home. Where? Okay. A funeral home. It's hard for me to, I'm reading on the iPad through my phone because I haven't figured out a good setup yet. So, funeral home where Mrs. something, I'll zoom in there. If anyone has an idea, I'm going to write to a funeral home where Mrs. I see J-O-K. Oh, John. Yeah, yep, that's an H. Mrs. John. This is nice. I usually do this by myself and it helps. Or Mrs. Jordan, maybe. I think that is an H. I saw a K at first, but I think it's an H. Mrs. John Bush. Mrs. John Bush, I think. And that's great because that's a name that we could look up later. So we're already finding things that will help us. We have Cedar Rapids, we have a name, we have a date. So I could probably find this woman's, you know, death certificate or something, or in a newspaper. All right, so what does that say? I'm pretty sure that says remains. One something. R Junior, probably Junior. Remains. What do we think? Isn't it buried Junior remains? I think that says remains are held. Yep, I think so. Some of the comments are being filtered, probably because we're talking about death. Okay, so I'm going to put remains are held. And then maybe we'll, as we keep reading, we will find more. John Buresh. Okay, so I'll do this. Bush / And in my normal kind of process of doing this would be, I would transcribe a page or two. If I found some clues, then I would move to Ancestry and start looking that up and trying to find the people. I think for now, since I'm on a live, I think I'm just going to keep going. And then maybe in a little while, I can switch over. I can switch over and do some research because I wasn't expecting to have full names yet. So we actually have some places we could start. So in the first entry, we have a mention of the weather, which I think is going to be almost every day. I think he's going to talk about the weather because that's just what they did in their diaries. Hello from Barbados. That's awesome. Hello from Massachusetts. They usually talk about the weather in these kind of farm diaries, but I am very interested that he's mentioned a name and a place. That's great. All right, so let's start. And sorry that the font is blurry in the background. This is the first time I've done it alive with this setup, so it'll take me a little while to figure out the best setup. Yes, Cedar Rapids. At first I could not read that, but sometimes when I'm on a live, it's like the pressure or the new eyes. I don't know. I saw Cedar Rapids, but everyone who was here helped a lot with the names and some of the words. So we're moving on to January 2nd. This is only the second day. So let me know if you guys would rather me zoom it in further or if you like to see the whole screen, the whole page. They're kind of smaller entries. So I see cloudy today and mild. Edna and I went into Sea Rapids to Mrs. Okay, that is definitely the same name. So her funeral. Do we see anything different now? Okay, I'll show the whole thing, and then when I'm looking for a certain word, I'll zoom into it. This is the same name as the page, the last page. But I don't know. If I feel like I definitely see B. I don't know. Badesky? Yeah, Budesky. Is that a Y or is that this letter from this word? You still think it's Bush. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm getting tripped up by this. I think this is part of the letter down here. So I'm going to go with Bush. You're still seeing Buresh. Okay. So what I'm going to do is put some of those alternatives because we'll be able to narrow it down later. I have a feeling when we do go on to Ancestry later, or if I do not on the live, I will be able to figure that out. And then it will seem so obvious, right? I just tried to zoom out on my phone. I'm like, I have a lot of screens in front of me. Okay. So they went into Cedar Rapids to Mrs. Bush's funeral. Mrs. Oh, we got another name. The names are the hardest ones because they're not like regular. Mrs. Gibson. person came out and is staying. Oh yeah, you have a diary from your ancestors that was, hold on, I have a lot of words layering. I have my ancestor's diary from when she was shipwrecked and stranded in 1865. So hard to transcribe. That is really cool, and it will be worth it. I don't know if you have already gone through, but I have to say, the diary that I normally read, this is not the diary that I share on TikTok usually, this is a new one, but the diary that I read in my entries on TikTok, the first time I read through it, it was like painstaking to get through the words. It's almost like what we're doing now, like it's word by word by word, so slow. But once you start learning the handwriting, it comes really quickly. So now the other diary, I can pretty much read it fluently. And eventually we'll get to that point here too. This is the first time I'm ever even cracking open this diary, so that's why it's going pretty slow. So let's see, where did I leave off? Came out and is staying. What is the point of this? Just, you know, history. This diary is from 1943. And if you follow my page, you'll see that I have another diary that I read that we've learned a lot from, and we've discovered who she is, and I've met her family, so it's just fun. It's a fun historical hobby. Okay, so what I'm realizing, I need to come up with a different setup because all of your comments are on top of the words here. But okay, so let's see. She is staying in the cabin. Wonder if that's the same cabin that he was building a step for. For the first... What do we think? There's a piece of sea moss in the back. That is so cool. I would love to help you transcribe the diary if you need it. Tonight. Yes, that is tonight. For the, I wonder, does it say for the first tonight? Oh, yeah. Okay. Miss, I think that says Kruger, and the only reason why is because I was flipping through right before the live to take pictures of the pages so I could make them bigger. And now that I'm glad I did that, because this would be almost impossible for me to like hold this for you. So when I was taking pictures on another page, it looked like Kruger, and I could read it a little better. So I'm going to say Kruger. Yeah. And I think it says tonight now that you guys said it too. Tonight. He makes his ends similar to the other diary that I read. It almost like, looks like a U. Okay. Miss Kruger, something tonight. Hold on. Here. Okay. So Miss Kruger here tonight. Okay. So we've got Edna. We've got Miss Kruger. Unfortunately, Mrs. Bush, who's passed away. I wonder how they're all related. Here, yeah, I saw here too. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the 3rd. If you just joined, this is only January 3rd. And this is the first time I've read this diary. So, let me just... Is the font that I'm typing with big enough? Should I make my typing bigger? And thank you, Audra. Can you guys see it enough? Should I make it larger? I could, but then you wouldn't be able to see more of the did not leave home today. Oh, you're already reading it. Okay, hold on. Okay, I see that too. Did not leave home today. Oh, some snow fell. Some snow fell this... Did he write this twice? Can you... Font is fine, but can you move your face to the other side? Yes, I didn't know that actually. I didn't know it moved it for you guys too. Sorry. I thought it was just for me. That works for me too, so. Is that better? Yeah, so I definitely see this afternoon, but I feel like he wrote this twice. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. 1943 typos. I'm not going to type it twice this afternoon. I wish it wasn't so blurry in the background. My phone is trying to just focus on the... Okay. You guys are getting ahead of me. And getting colder. Oh, there's Edna again. Edna and Miss Kruger. Edna and Miss Kruger. So maybe he's saying Edna, Miss Kruger, and I went to Cedar Rapids this forenoon. Is forenoon a word? Maybe like before noon? I've never heard that. Yeah, so Edna and Miss Kruger. Maybe that's its own like sentence, or maybe he's saying Edna, Miss Kruger, I went to see Rapids this forenoon. I've never heard forenoon. I mean, I think it would be afternoon too, but I don't see any A. And I don't see T-E-R. I see F-O-R-E-N-O-O-N. Cool. Okay. So I'm assuming that they're back where they live. January 4th. Forenoon is a word. It means morning. Yeah, nice. Okay. 4. Ah, you looked it up. Thank you, because I can't really look it up while I'm on with you guys. Thank you. It's not afternoon, it's before noon. Yeah, that totally makes sense. We just would say morning now. So 4 above this morning. Talking about the temperature, I'm sure. And a strong northwest wind. Wonder if they are a farmer or something, why they would care about the direction of the wind. Remained cold all day and is getting colder tonight. You know what would be really cool? It would, Midwest maybe. Maybe it's MW. It would be cool to look at temperature records and weather records and kind of compare. All right, so that was a quick one, just talking about the temperature, the weather. January 5th. All right. I see clear and... Is that a number? I see something below. What do you guys see? 2 below? Maybe. Oh, yeah, I'm reading a comment before I'm reading ahead, and they say, oh, it can't be this then. Okay, hold on, let me finish. Clear and 2 below, we'll say. It does look like it says this morning. Could it be something like, oh, wait, do you see 5 below, or do you think this says 5? This. It kind of looks like it says this morning. Thus this morning. Maybe. But there's a dot, I think. Unless it's a apostrophe. That's your birthday? That's my sister's birthday, too. January 5th. Roman numeral 5. Maybe. Roman numeral. Yeah, I know. I wonder. I mean, in this one, he did not use a Roman numeral. Thus. I might stick with thus. Because it definitely wasn't a typo if it happened again, the next one. And people just spoke differently in different time periods, so. Okay, so let's say, thus this morning. Oh, yeah, thus this morning warmed up. Oh. So, thus this morning warmed up this afternoon, I think, is another thought. The pavement is covered with ice. Clear. Hold on, I'm seeing. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe skies. Or something this morning warmed. I don't know. Oops. Oh my God. Okay, well, let me finish this thought. The pavement is covered with ice and very slippery. Okay, so that one I don't think I got every single. Yeah, clear and blue skies this morning. Yeah, maybe, but does that look like blue? That doesn't look like blue to me. Am I overthinking it? V for very. Yeah, I don't know if they did that, if they said that back then. Clear and very blue. I see a BL, but I don't see a UE. I see a. You know what we could do? We could look at the below. This is kind of like my process too. So if I think it says below. Clear and 2 below. That's what I think it says. So if I look here, oh, that says for above, not below. I think he does use the word below soon. So maybe we'll go back to it and see if it looks exactly the same. Okay. So let me try to get that in the screen. We'll go back to it. January 6th. Cloudy and mild. Oops, I'm not typing where you can see me. Today. Yeah, other people were saying Roman numeral 5 too. That could be. I don't know this writer, this diary writer yet, so I don't know if he uses Roman numerals, but if he starts to, if it's a pattern, then, you know, next time we go through. That's kind of with the other diary that I read too. The first time I read through, there were a lot of words that I just highlighted because I knew I didn't know them right away. And then once you kind of get to know the person, you go back, you read again, and, you know, it comes easier. It's pretty amazing, actually. 28 for above. Okay, yes. So cloudy and mild today. 28A this morning. Thanks for, I don't know who said that. I can't read your username, the little horse username. Thank you for saying that, because I wouldn't have ever thought 28A meant 28 above, but that makes so much sense. Especially since these pages, it's hard to tell in the picture that I have, but the pages are teeny tiny, so the people would have to really abbreviate, and that makes sense. Why write the whole word above? So 28A this morning. Unsettled? Home. I don't know. Unsettled home quiet? That doesn't make sense. Unexpected home. Visit. Quiet. Okay, you see quiet too. I don't know. That's tough. I feel like that says unsettled. Unsettled home. Oh, hold on. My screen is bigger than the phone, so there is missed. Yeah, unsettled something missed. Okay, that says roads though, because I couldn't read that before. But so I'm gonna put. I think he means 28 above 0 too. Yeah. That's some, not home. Okay, unsettled some. Unsettled some. What would he unsettle? Guest? There also might be a letter here. Like that might be something. Missed. Okay, but what is he talking about? Would unsettled some mist be something about the weather? Like talking about, I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to put unsettled some mist and I'm going to highlight it. Roads. Roads have been very slippery. What do you think? Whose diary is this? I'm new here. I don't know. It's a diary that I got on eBay from 1943, and I actually have, hold on, I'm trying to reach them. I have 2 more that are most likely from the same person, but we haven't figured out who he is yet. Definitely I would say like a farmer or something from Cedar Rapids or near Cedar Rapids. Roads have been very slippery. This is only the 6th day of the diary, so this is the first time I'm really reading through it too. What would that be? Roads have been very slippery. Plowed some today? They thawed some today? Maybe thawed? Shoveled? Thawed? Okay, I'm going to put thawed. I think it's thawed. Or maybe it's plowed, but I don't see a P. I see a T. Thawed. Showed, maybe. All right, we can go back to that too. Okay, January 7th. All right, cloudy. Temp 4 above this morning. Something up, something, the day. Wound up, probably warmed up, yep, since he said the same thing the other day. Warmed up, then what? Oh, hold on, someone just put, what? They showed some today makes sense, he could see the roads. Oh yeah, maybe. If the snow started to clear. Okay, warmed up during? Yeah, maybe during the day. This is so much easier with you guys. I usually do this by myself and I'll like focus on a word for a long time. Okay. We're warmed up during the day. Pavement still very slippery with ice. Oh, I'm glad you're hooked. So am I. And this one, the other diary that I read, it's from 1917. I don't know if you follow me, but I share it as I read it. I've already read through it and I share with pictures that I've connected with and everything. So I've seen it first, but this is actually like, you guys are seeing this for the first time with me. I've never gone through this one yet. So pavement still very slippery with ice. Okay. January 8th. And this is going quicker than I think it would by myself. I mean, I'm like going a little bit slower because I'm trying to make sure you guys can see everything, but it's very helpful to have another 168 sets of eyes on the entries. Okay, January 8th. Cloudy all day. I have a feeling most of these for a while are going to start with cloudy all day. Why is he making small talk in his diary? What else happened? I think that back in the day, when people owned farms, and I'm pretty sure this guy is a farmer, he was talking about building a cabin. I don't think it is small talk to talk about the weather, because I think that the weather mattered very much to them. Because if crops depend on it, and it seems like he's really concerned with travel. The other day he had to go to a funeral, so he was talking about how the roads were really slippery. So I think that the weather mattered a lot more back then. Nowadays it'd be more small talk. Okay, you're talking about the series and the diary. You love it. You're very close to Bar Harbor. Yeah, nice. I've been to Bar Harbor a few times before I read the diary, and now that I've read it, I need to go back because it'll be so different seeing it with that kind of that mindset. So hold on. Some people were telling me what's next, they think. Thank you for the roses. Cloudy all day. Temp 17 above this morning. So see what I mean? Because this is only the 8th day in. This word probably stumped us in the beginning. But now that it's a pattern, now that, sorry, I'm reading as I'm talking. Now that it's a pattern, he says it in almost every entry, we automatically know what it is. So it'll also help us read other words. Had a little snow last night. Okay, hold on. I'm reading the comments before I'm reading the entry. So cloudy all day, temp 17 above this morning. The ice melted a little on the pavement. Wonder if he's talking about the pavement at his house. Had a little snow last night. Yeah. So we're going to get a lot of weather talk. I'm not from Maine, no. I think the commenter a little while ago is from Maine. I read a diary from 1917 on my page, and she visited Maine in the diary. So that was someone who follows me and was talking about how they're from Bar Harbor, which is where she visited, and that's what that connection was. But I've visited Maine, and I love Maine, but I'm from Massachusetts. And then someone just asked, yes, it's a new diary that I bought on eBay, and I have a few of them. I have 3 of them that I think are from the same person. I bought them all from the same person, and they were selling, it was so sad because they were selling like 10 diaries from belonging to this person, but they were selling them separately, and they were all like bids, like you had to bid on them, and I only got my hands on like 3 of them. So they got separated, which is really annoying. I almost wish they just had sold them all together. Oh, hold on. Okay. You read a whole Buckminster Fuller biography. Awesome. I have 2 now. Buckminster Fuller, side note, he had a diary himself, and it was like more than a diary. This man was kind of insane. And he had this journal, he called it the Dymaxion Chronophile, and he would update it, apparently, every 15 minutes, he'd add something to it. So they have that at Stanford no, not Stanford University. I'm not going to know off the top of my head. In California, there is a university that has a giant warehouse of his stuff. And one of them, it's the Dymaxion Chronophile. And I wish I knew off the top of my head, but it's like they have a linear footage of this thing. And it's crazy. And I wish I could get in there. You have to be a researcher. Like, you have to be a bona fide researcher to go in. Because he probably mentions the woman who wrote the diary, Anglesey. Like, he probably has letters from her in there and things about, because it's the year of his wedding. Like, I'm sure he has a lot. But maybe someday I'll be able to get in. Okay, so where did we leave off? Okay, so we're moving on to January 8th. And this is not, to be clear, this is not a diary that belongs to Anglesey. This is different. We don't know who this man is yet. My family has tons of diaries. One dates back all the way to the 1890s. That's super cool. You should transcribe them like we're doing here. Definitely. Cloudy and 28 above. This morning. It remained cloudy all day. I went to Sea Rapids at 5 p.m. It snowed some. Home about 8 p.m. Oh, it's mostly about factory work and the weather. That is funny because this one's definitely mostly about the weather. I think that's a theme because, like we were saying before, I don't know if you were here at that point, but the weather mattered a lot more back then because, you know, they didn't have they didn't have heating systems like we do now. It was like a big deal when it was really cold. That ruined their day, and they couldn't work in their fields or build his cabin. That's what he's building, a cabin. Okay, so we have 5 p.m. I wrote 8, but I think it's 5. I think it's important to save real everyday life, too. It's a shame how many of these stories have gotten lost, I'm sure. So it snowed. Did I already do this? Oh, no. Okay, I'm getting all confused because I'm reading 3 things at once. So I went to Sea Rapids at 5 p.m. It snowed some. I just, wait, what? Home about, okay, that's what it was. Home about 8 p.m. Miss Kruger came out, and that's what someone had typed. Okay, Miss Kruger came out. Okay. Mrs. Yeah, I don't know if it's Miss or Mrs. But we've said her name before, so what did we say? Miss before. I'll just stick with Miss. Okay. Is this a game? It's fun. It's not a game exactly. It's more like a hobby. But I think it's fun to do this with you guys. January 10th, 1943. The sun came out today. Do we have any locations? We have one mention of a location, Cedar Rapids. That's all we've got. We don't know. I'm assuming that the man who wrote this diary, or the woman, I think it's a man for some reason, I think he lived a little bit out of Cedar Rapids because he talks about driving into Cedar Rapids. You have your great-grandma's diary from 1920? That's awesome. Okay. The sun came out today. The first time in many days. That's sad. I feel like that now. I feel like it's finally spring. Feels good. I went to Sea Rapids, so there's the mention of the location. Okay, you see the first time in many days too. Yeah, Iowa. What's the best place to find this type of diary? I found these on eBay. The one that I read on my page, I got really lucky at an estate sale, like literally just stumbled upon it, and that's kind of what kicked off this whole interest of mine. I've never found anything quite like that on eBay, but these are all from eBay. So if you search handwritten diary, that's where a lot of them pop up. Yeah, I see Lloyd's. Someone had said Lloyd's, but I do see only one this afternoon. So we got a location, and in one of the first entries, he was talking about going to somebody's funeral. So we have a full name that I will definitely look up later. And that will definitely help narrow down. Does it say many days or snowy days? I think it says many days. M-A-N-Y. Okay. January 11th. Do a find a grave. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. 20 above. This morning. What do I do with the transcription when completed? I don't know yet. I have one other diary that I've transcribed, and it's from 1917, and I read it on my diary page, not my diary page, my TikTok page. That's like what I do. And I have that complete transcript, but I'm not really like doing anything with it yet because I just haven't decided. I think I want to write a book using it, or like a script or something. Something like this after I'm finished with it. Maybe I would share it just because this probably isn't going to be like my, I don't know. The 1917 diary that I'm reading, I feel really like connected to, and I feel really like I want to guard it, but I don't know. This one maybe I would share. But it's mostly just for fun. And the transcribing is so that I can read through it easier the next time. instead of having to like painfully work through the handwriting every single time I read it. And then I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you're new or if you follow me already, but the diary that I read on my page, I have some exciting news about that. So her family had a summer home on Long Island, and it's now a museum. Like the summer home turned into a museum, and I got to visit last summer, and that was cool. I shared a bunch of videos about that, but they have asked me, because I met the director there, and we've been like talking every once in a while, and they've asked me to go like do a lecture there. So in the summer, I'm going to, oh yeah, maybe contact the eBay seller in case the other buyers don't pay. Yeah, maybe. I'm going to be doing like I don't think of it like a lecture, but that's what they called it. But I'm going to do like a presentation at the museum to some of their members, and I'll definitely record it and share it with you guys. But I don't know the exact date yet, but I'm pretty excited. That was just like in the works the past couple of weeks. She contacted me. Yes, they want me to do a lecture at Inks' old summer home. I'm like, whoa, this is pretty fancy. Okay, so 20 above this morning, the sun came out and shined nearly all day. That's a really hopeful sentence. This was the first clear day in over a month and a half. Come through. Where do you think it says that? Oh my god, it's like making stickers. Yeah, okay, that's cool, but sad that the sun has not been shining all month. Sounds like Pittsburgh. Sounds like Massachusetts too. I was just saying before that this is like resonating with me because I live in Massachusetts and it's like winter stinks. And finally the past couple of days it's really felt like spring, but it's probably gonna get cold again. All right, so what do we think? Sounds like all of New England. Yep. The sun can't come out. I think changing it to came is correcting speech. Okay, yeah, maybe it is the sun come out. Oh, you said it definitely says come though, not through. Okay, clear and cool today. Clear and, I think it says cold. I think it says cold. Clear and cold today. 10, does that say 10A? Like 10 above. I know, the 9 months of winter we have, that's a real thing. And then it's like summer hits and you forget how bad it is and you stay. Central Mass, it's at 50-degree tilt, the moon room type weather. Yeah, I had my windows down on the way home from work today. Okay, 10 above this morning. And I like didn't wear my coat to work. I'm like ready for spring. Remained cool. Remained cool. What does that say? And saw all, not saw. Remained cool in something all day. Wait, remained cool in blank saw all day. What do you think? You drove your convertible earlier, yeah. It's convertible weather. My boyfriend has a old Miata from his grandfather, and he said to me today, like, oh, it's almost Miata weather. Okay, hold on, let me see. And snow, is it? That says snow. Remained cool. What does that say? I think the boring details thing, I think that it wasn't boring back then. It mattered to them back then, the weather. Okay, so I'm going to put remained cool, and then I'm going to put a question mark. Unless, I'm sorry if I missed it. Well, and what would it be? Remained cool and raw. Raw, yep. Nice. Snow has not Oh, it's from the word below. I don't know. Snow has not, right? I think that's just the Y from the day. Yes, he loved commenting on the weather. That's like most of what he's writing. We've got weather and a funeral so far, and building a cabin. So he's a very manly man. Okay, snow has not. What does that say? Fully, thoroughly. It's not thoroughly. He'd make a great weatherman. Yeah, maybe we'll find out his name. Though is not thinned out. Something out any as yet. Something thawed. It looks like a Y. TH. Snow has not thrown out any as thawn. Maybe it's thawn. Yep. Out any as. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, January 13th. More weather. Clear and cold all day. Temp near. Does that say near? Near 3? You added an and? Yeah, I probably am making a lot of typos because I'm a little nervous on live. My face is very red. Temp near 0, yep. Okay, temp near 0 this morning. Snow still covering, no, covers the ground. Ah, watching from England. Hello. Thank you. Yeah. I'm always going to be nervous. I never used to like to be on camera at all, so I've definitely grown. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so snow still covers the ground as there has been no thawing since Thanksgiving. Oh, day. Okay. Oh my gosh. I guess that makes sense. Just trying to catch up on comments. All right, so there has been no thawing since Thanksgiving Day. January 12th. Nope, 14th. All right. Did you just make a turkey joke? I don't know. You're a little hypnotized by this live. Thank you. I took 4 years of French, but I'm not that great at it. Only the turkey has thawed since Thanksgiving. That's funny. I think, okay, so someone said, amazing you can make out as much as you can, like with the writing. I have been primed for this because I read another diary on my page. From the pages of volunteer transcriptions, like, oh, okay, I gotta write that down somewhere because I'll screenshot. Where'd it go? Because I want to do that. I got a new phone. I don't know how. Part of the military. This was during World War II, and that's why it's mostly short and weather themed. It could be. It does seem like a lot of the diaries that I see that are from this time period, they're all kind of like this. Like a lot of them. Oh, and that's okay. Yes. So maybe you had just joined. We did figure that out a little while ago. So I'm gonna start typing. Cloudy. Most of the day. I went to Sea Rapids at 4:30 p.m. Home. You think it says 6:30? Oh no, home at 6:30. Okay, or home. I don't know if that says. I think it says home. Home at 6:30 p.m. What does it say next? I saw, I don't know. Home at 6:30 p.m. Or low wind. Oh, okay. A low wind blowing today. Does it say low? A something wind. I saw wind blowing today. I think it says A. Because he used that letter when he said 10A or something, like talking about above zero. A something. Does it say wind? I think so. SOU? Maybe, because he did, oh, sorry, I'm like answering you without repeating what you said. So someone said a SOU short for south. It might be. Because, oh wait, or maybe it's like SW or NW, NOW, because he was saying in an entry before, I don't know what, I think it was like NW for a northwest wind. Like he did say the direction. So I think you're onto something. Maybe it says, you think definitely low. Uppercase L. I'm feeling like it's the direction. Because that looks like an uppercase W. Yeah. If only we could ask him. I know. Can you zoom out a little? I think that's like as low as I can zoom out. You saw my cat. I think that's as far as I can zoom out. Because I did take the pictures thinking like zoomed in would be better. But next time I can make it so that like it's zoomed out and then I can go back in. Do you think SW wind? I'm going to go with that. Blowing today. I think it's now. A now wind. I don't know. A low wind. Okay, so it's something about the wind. We can settle on that. January 15th. All right, northwest. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's SOW, southwest or northwest. I think we can kind of leave it though, because we can just settle on it's about the wind. And that's it. Maybe I can look up the data for the weather back then and figure out what direction the wind was blowing. All right, January 15th. I forgot the comma after 15. Yeah, I know. I'm typing on a live with 200 people on it. Give me a break. Okay, snow and... What do we think? Snow... Someone said raw wind. Or was that last time? Okay. Snow and something. Is it unsettled again? Nah. I don't know. What is it? Squeeze? Snow and squeeze today. That is a tough one. I don't know. Well, this is part of the T in today, so that's not part of it. So, I don't know. Unsettling? Maybe it's unsettled, because he did say that word. Unsettled. That's what I'm going to go with. Maybe unsettled, he's using it as, like, the weather was unsettled. Like, it was, like, I don't know. Okay. Snow and unsettled today. I'm unsettled on whether that's the correct word. Unscented. It's unscented outside. We went to see Rapids tonight. To something. T. That is a capital T, so that might be a place. To call. Okay, so they went to something to call at Mrs. Oh, okay. They went to somewhere to call at Mrs. Story's wake. She is to be buried tomorrow. Oh, so many people are dying. That's sad. Yeah, mothers. Yeah, okay, so maybe it's someone's mother's. Oh, I don't know. Is it mother's something? Or I'm going to just put a question mark. To call at Mrs. Story. I don't know if that's exactly her name. Tennessee. Oh, okay, maybe. Maybe. That does look like it would be. I don't know. She is to be buried tomorrow. Oh, I can put that. Telephone? I don't know. So yeah, he went to Cedar Rapids, and actually I put C Rapids because, that's funny, that was like automatic, because we've been reading, we're on the 15th day of this diary. Up until now, I know it's Cedar Rapids. Up until now, he's been calling it, he's just been saying C Rapids. So I just typed C Rapids because, oh, mortuary. Maybe. I just automatically typed C Rapids because that's what he's been writing. I just skimmed it, I guess. You think it says mortuary? Okay. So that's another thing. Now we have another place, though. If anyone's feeling like they want to help out, see if there's well, I mean, this is 1943, but see if you can find a Turner's Mortuary in Cedar Rapids. Turner's Mortuary. It's a historic business. Is it really? There's not one. Okay, so we have a couple of contradicting finds. But if anyone finds, you think it exists, really? Really? That's awesome. And it's in Cedar Rapids? Yes, there's a Turner. Okay, so okay, so the next thing we need to do, I wish we had Mrs. Story's first name. It doesn't exist now, but it did. Awesome. Oh, it's too bad if there's a cemetery right there. It's too bad that we don't have her first name, but we could definitely... Oh, I want to do this now. I don't want to do this later, but we should, I'm going to leave myself like a note. I'll put a comment. No. I'm going to put like a little bullet here that says, someone gave me the address. Turner's Mortuary. We need to look up this woman in the cemetery. That's, okay, 800 2nd Ave. We need to look up her name in the, the last name Story. And if anyone wants to do that now, feel free and let me know if you find anything. But I can't really get off of the live. Would her death year and approximate day work? Yes, actually, that's really smart. Okay, I wonder if I should just do it. If I should go, hold on, I can't see my own computer because... Okay, maybe we'll look her up in a little bit. Random, but I saw Cedar Rapids and had to click the live. I'm originally from there. Oh, yeah. Well, we're reading a diary that I bought on eBay. I'm not from Cedar Rapids, but apparently this guy who wrote the diary is. Oh, the address is a historical society. Okay. It is beautiful cursive. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going. Now we have a woman. I really want to look for her, but I'll get down into a rabbit hole. I had a goal for this live, and it was just to transcribe. So maybe in a little while we can go back. But if anyone wants, someone said Find a Grave, if anyone wants to go on Find a Grave and type in her info, nothing's coming up for obituaries, you can definitely do that and let me know. And I have my email on my TikTok page. So if you find anything cool, you can definitely email me. If you tell me in the comments, I might not remember. Yeah, cloudy all day. Okay. Temps. What's her death date? I don't know. Her wake was January 15th. So you could say like maybe about a week before that or a few days before that. Libraries have old newspapers with obituaries, yeah. And I have a newspapers.com subscription too. Her death date would probably be beginning of January. Yeah, probably. So you could at least guess that it would be that year. And I will definitely go back, and I usually go through like Ancestry. It's 1943. I go through Ancestry, I go through Find a Grave, I go through Family Search sometimes. I'm pretty, do I have diabetes? Is it because of my face? Is red face a diabetes thing? No, I don't have diabetes. I have something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's a genetic thing, and it's like a connective tissue disorder. So I get flushed really easily. It's like free blush, right? Okay, so temps about 28A or 26A. You have okay, so you have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Me too. I actually have, I went to a geneticist last year, and he says I'm like, he can't really fully define me as hypermobile or classical. Like, I don't fit everything for each category, but so he thinks I'm like some kind of in-between subtype, which is not fun. But I feel like I'm most of my symptoms and everything go with the hypermobile kind. I haven't had many of the other issues with classical, but I've had like 6 knee surgeries. My shoulders pop out every day. I'm like literally taped together most of the time. So yeah, it's nice to hear a couple of you are in the same boat. But the face flushing thing, like the POTS, and that's not newer, but it's gotten worse. Like, I feel like I look like I'm on fire right now, but whatever. Prone to ankle sprains, yeah, me too. Mostly my shoulders are the issue, and my neck right now, but okay, let me just keep going with the diary, because it's nice to talk to you guys about this, but I'm sure not everyone wants to hear. Cloudy all day. Temps about 28 above, so A, this morning. I actually, back to Ehlers-Danlos, I follow a few people who have it on TikTok, and that's like the first group of people that I've seen besides like a Facebook group. You know, it's nice to hear other people's experiences, and someone said, yep, POTS too. Yep, same. And my skin is not super stretchy, and that's one of the things that he was like, I don't know if you're totally hypermobile or totally classical, whichever one that goes with mostly. Because my skin is stretchy, but it's not like crazy stretchy. I will not stretch my face for you right now. But maybe in another video if you're really curious. Temps about 28 this morning, or maybe 26. It might be 26. Someone had said 28 or 26. Remained cool all day. Thank you, Lacey. Bill? Does that say Bill? Bill something here this afternoon? Yeah, okay. Bill Snook. It's a trend people are doing, going on a live. Give a compliment. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if the red face was a diabetes thing. That just shows my insecurity, I guess. I'll take the compliment, though. Yes, I have, well, okay. The atrophic scarring, that's like when it's really builds up. That was another thing that he was like, you don't really have that as much. So he was like looking for that to diagnose me either way. And I have like a little bit of each of them. I definitely have Ehlers-Danlos. Like he said, no doubt about it. Like the Baton scale thing, like where you do this. I scored a perfect score, which is not a good thing. But I definitely have that. I just don't know which category I'm in. Okay, remained cool all day. Bill something. Here this afternoon. What does that say? Hold on. Dvorak? Really? Oh, okay. I don't know. Is that a last name that I've never heard of? I'm going to write it down. Okay, what does this say? 100% Dvorak. Okay, I've never heard of that last name. Fitting? Yeah, fitting some storm windows in the cabin. He's building a cabin. Okay, now what? You see Duorak? I've never heard of either of those names. So, Norman and I see Norman too. Who's this? What's this? Norman and someone came out on where did I get your paternal grandmother's journal? Her writing looks just like this. That's funny. I'm sure a lot of people had similar handwriting back then. But I think this is a man for some reason. I don't really have a real reason, but I just have a feeling. Okay, so I have a million people saying David. It's not David, says someone else. Okay, Norman? I think it says David. Came out on, what is that, 103? Okay, so another person now needs to look up, is 103 a route near Cedar Rapids? This morning and went back to Cedar Rapids on 108 tonight. Okay, maybe it's a train. I know in the other diary that I read, it could be a highway or it could be a train number. You found an Elsie Story in a cemetery near Cedar Rapids. Okay, Elsie Story, did she die in 1943? Could be a relative, or it could be the woman he's talking about. Bus, maybe. It could be a train, or, yeah, it could be a bus. There's a 103 bus route in Cedar Rapids. Today, maybe it is the same one, but I feel like the odds of it being the same in 1943 probably aren't very high, but you never know. That's pretty cool. So it's either a bus or a train, I think. Now we're on January 17th. Yes, you can DM me the link on Instagram, or you can send it. I have my email in my TikTok account. I don't think it will let you DM me on here. I wish I could do this as a job too. Okay, so Sunday, January 17th, 1943, below zero this morning. Some of you are moving faster than I am. Okay, and what is next? I did not leave the place today. Snowing some today. Okay. I guess when the weather starts to get nicer in this diary, that's when we'll really learn if he is a farmer. This is just my guess because he's talking so much about the weather, it must matter. That's funny. Bingaling said, I def won't leave this place today. I'm sure he said def. Okay. Monday, January 18th. It's a talent reading it. Yes, it's, I read another diary on my TikTok page, and that's like, every video I make is about that, and her handwriting is kind of tough to read, and I feel like reading through that diary and typing everything, that's what has made it a little bit easier for me to read the words here. Even though it's not the same handwriting, I've gotten a little bit better at reading the scratch, but everyone's been helping a lot. There's been words that I haven't been able to read. Okay, below 0 this morning. A cold. Oh. I don't know. A cold wave? Yeah. A cold wave. Higgins? Does that say Higgins? Predicts. Okay, a cold wave predicts maybe someone predicts a blizzard. Yep. In the morning. Or produced. Yeah, maybe it's produced. Upcoming, I don't know. Morning. Produced a blizzard in the morning. Oh, wait. Okay, so that can't say produced a blizzard in the morning this evening. But it does, I think it does say this evening. I know, it is so much weather. Produced, it's something in the evening. Blizzard in, wait. Produced or predicted a blizzard in the, I might say Maine. I don't know if it says Maine. Mountains? In the reporting. Okay, yeah, maybe it's in the reporting. But what's a cold wave? Cold Maine? Is that what you think it says? Cold Maine? In the morning this evening. In the morning doesn't mean... Wait. Cold... Oh, wait. A cold wave preceded a blizzard in the... I don't know. Cold waves are a thing. Okay, so if cold waves are a thing, I'm going to leave it. A cold wave... Let me look, because the picture is a little crooked. Let me look in the actual... I have the actual diary here. I just took pictures so that it would be easier to blow it up and make it big. But that picture is a little... Okay, so you can see a little bit more. Predicts? I think it is predicts. I feel like... Yeah, punctuation is missing. I don't think that this guy put many... I think it's predicted a blizzard in the morning this evening. Yeah, I think it is predicts because this picture didn't really capture the whole page. Or a cold wave. Either predicts or predicted a blizzard in the morning this evening. Yeah, and maybe he's talking about like tomorrow morning. In the making. Maybe it's in the making. Yeah, it is. Okay. Ugh, I don't know what that says. Yeah, it's definitely making. Making. I see a K, definitely. Yeah, probably a cold wave in the morning predicts a blizzard. Yep. New. We think it says new. West. Might say west. But what's the next word? Because there's nothing else on this line. Something here. Unpack. I don't think it would say unpack. Mrs. Okay, maybe. Mrs. something. Yeah, was taken ill. Yep, Mrs. And again, so this is similar to the other diary that I read because I'm like getting confused with the M's and the N's. So her M's look like W's in the other diary. So this one, I'm seeing similarities. Okay, so Mrs. Something was taken ill. I don't know what that says. Seriously? Yeah, with a heart attack? Yeah, I think it's seriously. About 4 p.m. today, I stayed severely. Yeah, maybe it's severely, not seriously. I don't know. I think I see seriously. I stayed over, yep, at, what is the next word though? Someone's place. Their place. I stayed over at their place until 10 p.m. Oh, and then he's talking about the wind again. A bad wind, or maybe he's doing the directions again, like a SOU maybe, a southern wind and snow drifting or dusting the roads. Drifting the roads, produced, not predicted. Yeah, it could be. It's hard for me to go back and forth. I think we thought it was predicted because I looked in the actual diary and held it up. Okay. There were a lot of comments that I missed. I can't find them. Someone was talking about, I think, one of the graves that we were looking for. I can't find it. Okay, you think it's drifting? Yeah, drifting, dusting. I'm going to put dusting / drifting. I don't know, drifting the roads. I don't know if that makes sense, but drifting on the roads. Thank you for sending a link to my Instagram. Oh, okay. Regarding Mrs. Story. Thank you. Okay, I will check that out. Drifting makes sense. Okay, so like drifting on the roads. SOU wind is a bad wind. It could be, but in the other entries that we were reading, he was mentioning specifically, let me look again, because a lot of you are getting up in arms about it. Yeah, okay, that is a bad wind. Yeah. In the other entries that he was writing the directions of the wind. So I think that's why my mind went there. But okay, let's move on. January 19th. This poor man or woman has seen a lot of death in the past 19 days. I think winters were a lot worse back then. Okay. Is that a number? I know. Something below. Yeah, I changed it. I changed it to bad. 22 maybe? Yeah, maybe it's 22. Below this morning. And is that bad wind again? All in a low wind? Bad wind all night. Mrs. Wait, does that say died? Mrs. the same name as before. Someone said, if you know where this is written, why not look at an almanac to check the weather? Yeah, I could go check what the exact weather was, I guess. But I mean, I did mention earlier that it would be cool to compare it with an almanac. I think an almanac also, doesn't that just predict what's coming, or do they actually tell you what temperature it was on that exact day? You think it's Wes? I think it's Mrs. only because we've figured out Mrs. before, and some of these older, yeah, it could be West Deblock, I don't know. Some of these older handwritings, people made M's that looked more like W's. And he was talking about someone named Mrs. something in the last one. I think it's Mrs. S something. Died, or dead, dies. What do you think? A hard wind? Yeah, it might be a hard wind. She died, dead at home today? What do you think? Yeah, I think she died from the heart attack, yeah. 2 a.m.? Yeah, maybe it's the time. That's sad. Roads are, does that say drifted? Dusted? Badly? Drifted badly? Only the something are open. Something's plowed open. Only the plowing, pouring, paving being, only the paving being plowed. Thank you to whoever said that. Okay. Okay, so now we'll move on to January 20th. A snowdrift is when a snow piles up and it's deeper than you think. Yeah, I think what was confusing me is him saying it was drifted, but now that makes more sense. Okay. Plowed often, maybe. Go back? Okay. I missed a word. It's really hard to do this on live with a lot of people here, so I probably did miss a few words. Last word. Oh, with only, okay, being plowed open. I said that, but then I didn't type it. I think it says open. Okay. Oh, or often. Yeah, maybe it says often. January 20th. Clear today. Oh yeah, it could be often spelled wrong. Thank you, Emily. Clear today, 12 below this morning. And remains what all day? Cold. I've shifted to mostly just reading all of your comments instead of trying to decipher the words because you guys are quicker than me. I stayed in the depot at Walfer. Yeah, remained. Walton. Last night. Is Walton a town in Iowa? Or Walford? I was worried of, hold on, I'm reading your comments and not trying to read the, okay. He stayed in the depot at other live that I just ended, or, oh, you're back. Okay, am I back? I guess I was really frozen. I don't know. People were still commenting, so I thought that I wasn't. But I think I was. because it seemed like they were commenting random things, not like in response to what I was saying. I think I was talking to myself for a while. Okay, you can hear me good. I don't know what happened. I checked my phone battery and like dragged the thing down, and I think after that it went away. I'm glad you guys are back. Okay. So, that's funny because I was laughing. People were commenting like, the cold wind got her. And I thought you guys were talking about like the woman in the diary the last day who died. And I'm like, no, they're talking about me. The cold wind got her. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. Hopefully other people come in. Because I did send a comment and I said I was going to like restart. But clear all day. A cold... This is what I was trying to ask. A cold snow. Okay. No one was answering me when I said, what does this say? What does this say? And I was like, okay, people aren't hearing me. A cold snow was due to hit last night. So I stayed at, what did we say that was? Walford, I think. I don't remember. Yes. Again, he stayed there again. He's getting stranded. Again last night. Wait, hold on. A cold snow was due to hit last night. So I stayed at Walford again last night to be on the safe side. Yes, I started my live over. Apparently I freezed up for a lot of people. I couldn't tell if it was everybody, but I think it was. So I just like ended it and restarted it. And a lot of people probably aren't going to figure out to get back on, but oh well. Okay. So he stayed at Walford again last night to be on the safe side. I went over to West something. Maybe you guys can work on that word while I answered this question. The backstory of the journal, I don't know yet. I got this diary and a few others and they're written by the same person. Oh, my lighting is bad. They're written by the same person, but I don't know who yet. And I have just started reading it with you guys today. So hopefully as we read, we'll figure out who it is and learn more about him in his backstory or her backstory. But I don't know. The only backstory I know is where I got them, and I got them from eBay. So someone had just written a last name, said Locks. I'm sorry if you missed the 20th because I froze up. So let me just go back. On the 20th, it says, clear today, 12 below this morning, and remained cold all day. I stayed in the depot at Walford last night, afraid of the weather. And that's when my entire phone just froze up and everyone was like, oh no, the weather got her too. And I just sat here like thinking I thought people could hear me and they couldn't. So I stopped the live and started it again. So now we just did January 21st. Clear all day. A cold snow was due to hit last night. So I stayed at Walford again last night to be on the safe side. I went over to W, said Locks. Or maybe it's M. I don't know. This last evening. It is the name again. So again, if that is... I'm having a hard time like keeping everything straight because I'm talking to you guys and typing. So if that is the woman who died, we could probably figure out, like if anyone wants to look up Sedlocks, Cedar Rapids, January 19th, 1943. That's her death date. So we could find her, or him if it's Mr. I don't know, maybe, oh yeah, maybe it's Mr. Like he went, hold on, I'm like, if he went to, where is it? Mr. Yeah. That would make sense. If he went to go visit her husband or something. Yeah. Okay. Or maybe it's like his first initial or something. Yeah. Looks like a W. It could be his first initial is W. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to do a few more and then log off. And if you guys want, we can do this more. I wasn't expecting so many people to have fun with me. So W in your opinion. Yeah, it could be W. It does look like a W, but sometimes in the older diaries, like in Anglesea's diary, who I read on my page, her W's, her M's sometimes look like W's. Can we add the day? Like this? Yeah, I can add the day. I'm just trying to type less and make less typos. And then someone was after me about the comma too. Like, please give me a break. I don't actually have dyslexia, but I am on a live in front of a lot of people, so it's kind of pressure. And I'm reading like 12 things at once. I'm reading all of your comments, I'm reading the diary through my phone, and I'm reading the stuff that I'm typing, so. Gotta have the comma, I know. How did you, what filter? I didn't do a filter. Might have been an accident. No, it's okay. It's okay. You're not messing me up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, so clear and mild today. Now, I think that says W now. I think it does say W said lock or said back or something. Oh, or maybe, I don't know. It does say was buried. Was buried. What does that say? Today. Yeah. Lloyd and I don't know. Franks. You found a newspaper clipping. Wes J. Sedlak died at his home. Oh my God, at 2:25 a.m.? And he did say 2 a.m. in the diary. That's crazy. Hold on, I've got to screenshot that. That's super cool. Thank you for looking that up and sharing that. Francis. Okay, we think it says Francis. That's really cool. Yes, please send it to me. Okay, I'm over here trying to zoom in on my phone. I think I'm getting tired. I have my iPad over here. So Lloyd and maybe Francis was out. Junior, maybe it says Junior. Was something for the funeral, went out to the funeral. Whoa. Went. Okay. Okay, we'll do a few more. I am doing the back view and the front view with a new, it's like a new feature on TikTok that can show both. Before, I've tried to do this before, like researching and showing what I'm doing on the computer, and it's really tough because I want my face to show too. So before, they didn't have anything like this, and it was a real bummer, but now that they do, I'm excited because I think it's a good way to like show what I'm doing and also get to talk to you guys. Because I think it would be boring if you just saw the words. Oh, thank you. You think it definitely says Junior? Okay, I'm gonna do this. Highlight. When we're not sure, I highlight. Okay, and because somebody asked, I will type out all of the words and you can watch me mess up. Saturday, January 23rd. I will also try to figure out how to make it not blurry in the background, but at least we can read it. Cloudy and 15 above this morning. Remained chilly all day. Did not go to Sea Rapids. Thank you, James. There. Did not go to Sea Rapids this evening, as we usually do. Is this Miss Kruger again? I can't tell exactly how that's spelled. Miss Kruger. Yeah, there is a we. Yes. Emily, that's an interesting point. Yeah, he's talking now about we. He did talk about Edna, who might be his sister. Maybe his wife. I don't know. He did talk about Edna, and I did notice, because I haven't read these diaries, but I've flipped through them to kind of like see if they really did belong to the same person, and I saw the name Edna quite a bit. Someone said, what is this? We're transcribing a diary from 1940. I can't get it to show. 1943 that I got on eBay. And I don't know who it is yet. We're still going to figure that out soon. Kerrigan, you think? Maybe. We had someone named Kruger before, so I'm just going to keep that. Also mentioned the Turner Chapel Mortuary, which is fun like the other. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm going to have to really dig into newspapers.com now. That's something that would probably be boring for live, so. Mrs. Kruger came out on the bus? Bus? Does that say bus? This afternoon. Kruger is a very common name in the Midwest. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, I think it's a bus. Came out on the bus. Or, yeah. Okay. All right, what day are we on here? We're on the 23rd. I'll go up to the 25th, and then I'm logging off. I'm getting tired. Oh, you know what? Why is that the 16th? Okay, hold on. I think they came in twice because of my iCloud. Okay, I've got up to the 27th on here, so let's just go up to the 27th. Wait, we're on the 23rd. Ugh, hold on, sorry. Okay. Sunday, January, oh my god, I can't type anymore. 24th. Could be Koger, yeah, maybe. You have this exact diary from 1915 that you have to transcribe. Well, let me know if it turns out to be the same person. We can transcribe it together. Yes, Cedar Rapids. Okay, mostly, we're almost done here. I'm losing my mind. Cloudy today. 20 this morning. It got colder during the day and is down to 0. How do you find these sorts of things on eBay? I wouldn't want to get scammed. I look up handwritten diary, and every once, I don't like buy them often. I've only bought a couple on eBay, so I can't speak to like not getting scammed, but there's plenty on there, and they have pictures and stuff. So you can kind of flip through and get a sense of what the entries looked like. One thing you do want to look out for is diaries like this. Like this is, maybe I'll flip. This is the size of the diary, and they were very popular back in the day. Like this diary, I think it's called the Standard, the Standard Daily Journal or the Standard Diary. This size is very popular. And one thing that happens a lot is they're like mostly empty. So you just want to look out for that. And, you know, in the description, usually people will put, oh, it's mostly empty or 1/3 empty, or they'll write that it's fully written like in. So one thing to look up, is this a professional job or a hobby? It's a hobby. It would be fun to do it for a job, but nope. Okay. Is down to 0 tonight with a strong northwest wind. What's that? Oh, Kit and Pauline. Thank you, guys. The lack of punctuation confuses me, and I always think he's still working on the same sentence. Oh, someone finished the whole sentence. Kit and Pauline came out this evening, calling at Helen's and stopping here. Kit and Pauline came out this evening, calling at Helen's and stopping here. Yeah? Okay. The 25th will be our last day that we're doing tonight. And then I will set a date where we can do the next one sometime next week. Maybe Thursday next week. Oh no, Thursday I'm busy, but I will post a day on my stories and I'll make a video to let you guys know. But you should definitely, if you want to do this again, I will keep going through the diary in order and I'll let you know ahead of time when I'm coming on. If you want to know, go follow me so that you'll get the notification. A lot of people, because TikTok does a bad job of showing all of my followers, like, my posts lately. So just keep an eye out. I don't know why. Someone said this is so dumb, but this is so fun. I don't know whether that's a compliment or... I think it's fun and I don't think it's very dumb. It was about 15 below this morning. Okay, what's that? This is very therapeutic. Thank you. It's therapeutic for me too. Okay, had a strong northwest wind. Oh, I did that again. All night and was the worst night. Oh my God. It was the worst night I have seen for... What does that say? The worst night... Oops. I have seen for several years. Oh, geez. Must have been a bad night. Several years. Remained. What does that say? Remained around 0 all day and is cold tonight. Okay. That's all I'm doing today. If I don't stop myself now, I'll be on here all night and I have to work tomorrow. I'll answer one more time. Someone said this is a terrible spot to end. It's like a cliffhanger. Will he make it through the worst night in several years? This is a diary that I got on eBay. It's from 1943 and I have like 3 diaries from this person. This is the earliest one. I have 1943, 1944, and 1947. So we're going to go through them together. This is like the first time I've ever really cracked it open, and it's been really fun to start transcribing it with you guys. Someone said, thank you for doing this and being here. Thank you for being here, because this was much more interactive than I was expecting it to be. So we'll definitely do this again. So if you want to work on this with me, I think I'll just make this like the live diary. Like I think I'll go through live with this one with you guys, and we'll pick up on January 26th next time. And okay, so let me read a couple more comments and then I'm out of here. Thank you for being here. Sorry that I froze and I had to leave. If you want to be true to the text, they use come out instead of came out. Okay. I definitely will try, but it's tough to read what you guys are writing and type at the same time. So I think for now it's good enough. Usually when I transcribe stuff like this, I'll go back later. And someone said, now I want to do this. You should. Yes, the next one will be, would it help to put white paper behind it? Do you mean white paper inside the diary, like between the pages? It might, because this guy wrote with a pen. Can I post what you have so far? Yes, I just don't know where. I'll find a way to share it. I'll link in my TikTok. Maybe I'll make a blog or something. Or maybe I'll put it on my Instagram. But yes, I can do that. I can do that as we go. That would be cool. And I don't know the name of the person who wrote the diary. Maybe it is a lady. I'm not sure. A Google Drive link. Maybe. Keep an eye out. I'll I'll let everybody know on my TikTok what I decide to do, but I'll definitely share it. That would be cool. I should do your grandma's old cookbook. I'd be happy to. All right, good night, everybody. I will let you know when I'm coming back on, and we'll pick up on January 26th. Bye-bye.